I know lots of people who would like to go to Israel. A world opens up for people once they've had a chance to go. All you got to do is give them a hand to get there. And I thought we could bring thousands of business school students and CEOs over to Israel. It would be great for them, and it would be great for Israel, and long-term mutual benefit. I was out talking to people, and someone said, you should meet this guy, Gil. And then a second person said, you should meet this guy, Gil. And the third person said, you should meet this guy, Gil.
It was only a few months after I brought a business trip to Israel and had a wonderful experience. Rafi came to our office with his big idea to start a nonprofit whose entire mission is to bring people over. And immediately I felt there could be some interesting collaboration. And fast forward, Itrek.
I met Rafi through his company Stacks, and I said, Rafi, you know, you're spending all this money and all this time to get this thing going. I probably should give you some money, even though you haven't asked. So I gave him some money to support the early trips.
Holy cow, I got Brad's money. I better not screw it up.
We started with a pilot, and the idea was let's bring professors to Israel from top graduate business programs around the US. If we bring these professors to Israel and getting them excited about the experience, they're gonna bring their participants.
We landed, and the first two speakers we had, and people said, this is amazing already. Dean of a business school hugged me and told me we changed his life.
Very quickly we realized that there's another way to bring people over, which is to work with actually students. They're young, they're ambitious, they're very smart. They know exactly how they want to lead their trips. When students are bringing their friends, they do a combination of fun and culture and educational content. Our role is to make sure that they have the support they need in order to get fantastic experiences.
It was on my very first day of work at the foundation that I met Gil and Rafi pulls out this one-pager, and it was basically the concept for Israel & Co., which was the precursor to Itrek. We have Israeli students at all these schools who can lead trips, and it was kind of one of these things where you're like, that's such a great idea, why has nobody thought of it?
Really was a combination of the encouragement and the capability to go do it. That's how we got it going.
10 years ago, when I was a first-year student at Michigan, I wanted to lead a trek to Israel. I got in touch with Gil when they were just starting off as a startup, and he really created a lot of support. He helped us see the vision and the belief that we can pull it up together. At one point, I was even considering canceling it because we only had 17 participants. But Gil told me, you have to kick it off. You have to start, and they will come. 2 years later, the trek was with 97 participants. So he knew what he was talking about.
We've grown from single-digit number of trips in the first year all the way to almost 90 trips in 2019. We grew from one program to several programs.
I was amazed by the impact that we had on our fellow students, to have true conversations and to talk about the complexities.
And when we realized that thousands and thousands of people were impacted by our work, that's an impact that will stay forever.
Itrek got to the point where they had been doing these trips for years. They had thousands of alumni, and the question was, the trips are going great. What happens afterwards?
When I was offered to be a part of the Alumni Network's inaugural board, I immediately say yes, because building on our shared experiences and moving forward towards creating that cohort of alumni, I feel there's a huge potential.
As long as Israel continues to be deeply misunderstood, we will need Itrek to be there to show these leaders a firsthand experience of the country.
To create open conversations and connect people in the way that I think no other organization is doing on the ground today.
Hopefully, all of the world's influential will have a chance to visit Israel and get to know the country firsthand. And when he or she will need to make decisions where to open an R&D center or who to do business with, they will have this personal experience that will guide their thinking.